I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Then today's episode, first things first, if you guys hear some fireworks going off in the background, it's because it's July 3rd. People like to celebrate the 4th of July a little bit early by shooting off the loudest fireworks that they possibly can shoot out. So I do apologize if I do get a little distracted because of it. I apologize for that too. But anyways, let's talk about PlayStation switching over to digital video games in 2028, meaning that there will be no more physical video games coming out after the year 2028. And that's what trips me out about video game companies, is that they don't listen to the fans, but yet they want us to go out and buy the next PlayStation. They want us to buy accessories for the PlayStation. They want us to buy a membership for the PlayStation. And I already had said that when the next PlayStations come out, the PlayStation 6, or if they decide to call it something else, either way, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not buying no handheld PlayStation. I'm not buying no if they come out with a PlayStation 6, I'm done with PlayStation. You know, and it's sad to say that because it's like I grew up on PlayStation. PlayStation 2 probably being my all-time favorite console, but that was the thing though. You look at what PlayStation was back then, it was for the gamers. I don't know what they're making PlayStations for now, but it's not for the gamers, alright? Yeah, they're like, okay, you'll be able to play video games on it, but that's not the main reason on why we're putting out PlayStation 5s and stuff. I mean, having it where, my thing is this, right? They came out, for those that don't really follow PlayStation, like if you don't know what's really going on, they came out, you know how, like, so I'm pretty sure everybody knows about, like, the phones and stuff, where there's, like, the iPhone, like, 17, and then there's the iPhone 17 Pro. So, PlayStation, they've been doing that for, a couple of PlayStations now. They did it with PlayStation 4, and now they're doing it with PlayStation 5. They came out with a PlayStation 4, Slim, which was a better PlayStation than the original PlayStation 4, and then they came out with the PlayStation 4 Pro, where it was, I believe it was bigger than both the original PlayStation 4 and the of course the PlayStation 4 Slim. But anyways, they did that and I thought it was a decent console. Fast forward, they come out with a PlayStation 5. So I knew that they were going to do the whole like 5 Pro thing. I was just curious to see what it was going to be about. So they announced the PlayStation 5 Pro. The PlayStation 5, and that's the thing about video game consoles, they all have a disc tray. Now, they have been coming out with some digital consoles, like the Xbox. They got the Xbox Series S, and then I think they do call it the Xbox Series X. It's kind of like the Xbox that I have, but it's white and it's digital and it'll have like no disc tray and stuff on it. But overall though, I would say that, yeah, it's like, I know people probably ask that question like real quick, is Xbox better than PlayStation? Yes, in this day and age, yes, I would say so. You know, maybe if we went back 20 years and we were talking about the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, by far the PlayStation 2 is a much more better console. But fast forward over the years, PlayStation, they lost their touch when it came to gaming and stuff. But anyways, getting back to the PlayStation 5 and the 5 Pro and all that stuff. So the PlayStation 5 has a disc tray. I have the PlayStation 5, the original PlayStation 5. They came out with a PlayStation 5 Pro and they have no disc tray. You had to pay an additional, hold on for a second, let me see how much it costs, like on Best Buy or something. But you have to pay an additional price, and I think it's like over $100 disc tray, I think. I don't know, disc tray, drive, let's see. So, oh, actually, no, it's not over $100. It's $79.99 to get the disc. Yeah, the disc drive for the PlayStation 5. And I don't know if there's like different types where it's like there's one for the 5 or like one for the one for the 5 and then the 5 Pro. Did they come out with a Oh yeah, they did. They came out with a PlayStation 5 Slim. Oh, it is okay. I can see the difference between it and stuff. But either way, regardless, I'm thinking to myself, why didn't you guys just build the disc tray with the PlayStation 5 Pro? To me, that just seemed like that would have made a lot more sense. You did it with the PlayStation 5. You did it with the PlayStation 5 Slim. why not do it with the PlayStation 5 Pro? And that's why I'm like, nah, man, you know, with PlayStation, I just don't believe that currently right now their focus is on gaming. Their focus is, oh, we'll make it seem like that we're selling you guys a gaming console. Oh, you get to play games at 60 frames per second, 4K quality. Oh, games load up so much faster. There ain't no loading at all. Games still be loading up. All right, there's at times where it's like it doesn't even matter what like console or version of the PlayStation that you have. It really depends on what kind of TV monitor that you have. So if you're playing it off, let's say you have one of those like $200-$300 4K TVs and stuff. Yeah, the quality is probably not even it's gonna be good. Like, yeah, the 4K quality and stuff. But if the frame rate ain't all that high, it ain't like you can like change the frame rate and stuff. At least I ain't, but the TV that I have, because I got one of those cheap TVs. I was like, look, bro, I just need something to just entertain me throughout the day if I'm, doing something, and just have a TV there and stuff. Yeah, I was like, I wasn't really thinking when it came down to buying the TV, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I just, I knew I was gonna like transition over to like PC gaming and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm like, I mainly just use my TV for like watching shows and stuff. But when I was playing games, like I did realize that was like the quality isn't all that high compared to when I'm playing a game on my computer and stuff. So yeah, eventually I was like, I was like, the monitor is a lot better. I'm like, I'll just switch all my stuff, PlayStation, Xbox, all that to that. So, but anyways, overall, I decided that, I'll just, keep cause I was thinking about getting the PlayStation 5, Pro, but once I seen that, I was like, no, I'm not going to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro, only be forced to buy, digital games, and if I want to get me a disc game, I don't know if this thing is going to be flimsy or not, this disc drive, and then end up buying that thing done broke, and now I got to keep going back and forth buying disc drives. No, I'm good, bro. So, but anyways, let's talk about the video games. Now, the one game that I bought where it stopped me from buying video games digitally on PlayStation, because that's the thing, I have all consoles. I have all platforms and stuff. I have the Switch, I have the Xbox, I have a gaming PC. What else? Yeah, and then all like platforms like Steam, Ubisoft Connect, Epic Games, all that. Everybody, I think, besides Nintendo, but that's the thing though, Nintendo don't put out bad games. I feel like for the most part, it's like if you get yourself a Nintendo Switch, you know what kind of games. Like I'm not gonna ask for a refund for Legend of Zelda and things. I'm not going to. I guess like if I want to trade that game in, then yeah, I'll get the game physically. But I think one I bought digitally, and then two, that Tears of the Kingdom, I think I bought that. Yeah, I think I bought that digitally because it was I think it was the whatchamacallit, the Switch 2 version. So, but anyways, everybody has a refund policy besides Switch and PlayStation. But with Switch, I can understand because they don't put out bad games. PlayStation, on the other hand, I'm not going to say that PlayStation themselves, I guess like more so with Nintendo, I mean, yeah, they be putting out some games where I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not going to buy that game because, yeah, that game might not even be good and stuff. You can visibly see that it's not a good game because they be having like, so instead of having a game like Body Cam, for an example, right? So like there's Body Cam, the Steam game. So Switch, Nintendo Switch, they would have a game on there like it called Body Cam, but the name is slightly off. There'll be like Body Cam Shooter, Body Cam Camera, Body Cam, Body Camera or something like that. Like the name is slightly off, but you can tell that whoever it was that was working on it was inspired, or they're trying to copy down what Body Cam did. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm iffy about those types of games. Like if I ain't seeing no videos on it, then yeah, I ain't fooling with it and stuff. But that's the thing though, with PlayStation, they got games on there like, well, I think yeah, Switch does too, but like NBA 2K. So if you buy NBA 2K digitally and stuff, and I think that's like one of the reasons on why people would get physical copies of games, so they're not getting stuck with the game. Because if you go and look at what gaming is and stuff, I guess like for a video game like NBA 2K, they're coming out with those games every year. So I'm not trying to have it where my PlayStation library is just nothing but a bunch of NBA 2Ks. And I've been saying that for the longest, that they need to just come out with one NBA 2K every console. So right now, like, they should just have one that says NBA 2K, Xbox Series X, PC, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 edition, or whatever they want to call it, or even if they just want to call it NBA 2K. But companies are not going to do that because they're trying to make the most amount of money that they can off of whatever video game that they're playing. So, but anyways, getting to, how I found out about PlayStation's quote-unquote refund policy. So, I bought the video game Black Myth Wukong. I thought I was going to like this game because I was playing a little bit of it on PC, but the game had crashed on me on PC. So I was like, okay, you know what? Forget it. I'll just go ahead and get the game, because I think that's what it was. I was looking for a physical copy of the game, but they didn't sell it at the time. So I was like, all right, you know what? I didn't have a problem playing it when I was playing it on PC. I'll just go ahead and buy it digitally. So I buy the game digitally. Now, this was at a time where I didn't really know too much about like the Dark Souls genre, but that's what that game is. I don't particularly care for Dark Souls games, especially when they don't have difficulty settings, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to progress through this game. I'm not trying to test my skill level with whatever said boss and things. I'm trying to progress. I'm trying to see what the end of this video game is like. It shouldn't be a situation where I gotta go on YouTube just to see the ending of Black Myth Wukong because they want me to get stuck on the boss. That just defeats the purpose of buying a video game. But, so anyways, I'm playing that game. I managed to get through, some fights in there and stuff. Struggled, a little bit and things. But then it came to I think it was like a baby, but it was like an oversized baby though. Like it was, I don't know, I can't really describe the boss, but it's like one of the like first earlier bosses in the game and stuff. So anyways, I'm fighting him. I'm doing any and everything I can to beat this like man baby thing down. And kept losing, kept getting killed. So I figured, you know what? I haven't owned the game for over 2 weeks. I played the game under 2 hours. I'm going to get my money back. That's when I found out that PlayStation doesn't have a refund policy. So they have it, but you can't play the video game. PlayStation, I don't think you understand that when I'm playing a video game, I'm not trying to have problems. I'm not trying to have it where I'm out here, feeling more frustrated than having fun with the game. So the thing is this, what they need to understand is, and I think that needs to be it for everybody, there needs to be a better refund policy when it comes to video games, because a lot of the times developers don't want to listen to video games, but it just seems like that companies like Steam, like Xbox, like PlayStation, and everybody else, they don't care about that. They're like, hey, look, at the end of the day, you buy this game, it's yours. No, it's not. Okay. A video game that I buy is the video game that you guys are advertising in the trailer. Then that's the thing. They'll show like this cinematics, and then they'll show somebody that knows about the game that's playing it and having fun. And I'm like, okay, that's what I bought the game for. I didn't buy the game to go back and forth from Reddit to, YouTube to TikTok and any and everywhere else on, every like platform out there trying to figure out how to get past the game. I'm just trying to play a game because I think back on when playing the PlayStation 2, right? I never did that. And that's the thing, like, a kid wanting to be like, I guess, like on the internet. Like I lived for the internet when I was a kid. I was so fascinated about the internet when growing up. Now it's just kind of like, okay, it's a job and stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's whatever and things. But I was fascinated by the internet growing up. So I looked for any and every opportunity to go, like whether it was cheat codes, whether it was YouTube videos. I remember one time I was like, I think it was, how old was I? I might have been either 12 or 13, but I remember I was like, I didn't create no account, but I just wanted to see what MySpace was all about. Like, I was so fascinated by the internet growing up and stuff. So, anyways, but that's the point that I was trying to make, is that I never went on there to, I guess, look up how to get past stuff in a video game. Like, my thing is this, if I struggled in a video game, I'll figure it out. But that was the thing. Video games back then were a lot easier to figure out versus now, where it's like, okay, I done played this game in a million different ways. There ain't no way possible for me to figure out how to get past this boss and any of this other stuff. And then it don't help when you got communities out there where with whatever video game, instead of, and that's the thing where it's like, okay, if you like the game, cool, you like the game. I'm not going to take that away from you. But telling me, some old dumb stuff saying that, oh, it's a skill issue, it's this, it's that, the game is actually good. You're not helping. You're not helping at all. You're a part of the problem. Don't hype up a developer, because my thing is this. It'll just be in a matter of time before they come out with something that upsets you. But it's like you did all that defending, and now it's like, okay, well, they're just going to turn a blind eye to all forms of criticism. And that's the thing that I'm not with. I'm like, nah, bro. I can't buy a video game and, and support this, whoever the developers are. And I'm like, I'm not having fun with this game. So PlayStation, the whole, cause the thing is this, you need to either have it set up where we could get our money back at any given point in time. Cause if it's going to be on some stuff where we don't, properly own the game. Cause yeah, there's that too, where it's like, Ubisoft, for an example, they decide to shut down, the very first Crew game for whatever because I think, what was it, like the license had ran out. It was some old stupid reason, but it's like, okay, I should be able to get my money back because I bought this game digitally, and this game, if I'm not able to play it, I should be able to get my money back. It shouldn't matter how long it is, but my thing is this.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
If not that, and well, I guess because I guess if it is a physical copy, would people be able to? Because I don't know how that would work. Where it's like, what did people do? I guess if they did have a physical copy of the Crew, because I'm like, if the game don't work, then it's like, yeah, that's one of those things where I'm like, they need to change that. It's like, no, you need to either add an offline mode, and Ubisoft very well could have did that, but it was like, it just seems like that a lot of times people just want to be lazy and not want to do no proper work for the game. And so yeah, I'm like, that's why if you find yourself, your company in a dying stage, and that's what's gonna happen with PlayStation is gonna be known as the company, you guys was on top of the world. There is no other platform that can stick with you guys. The thing is this, during that time frame of when the PlayStation 2 was a thing, GameCubes couldn't last. Xbox couldn't last. I'm trying to think if there was any consoles. We don't remember what those consoles were, because PlayStation was, when growing up as a kid, you had to have a PlayStation 2. There are some friends that I had that had Xboxes and stuff, but I'm like, nah, you had to have a PlayStation 2. And that's the thing, looking back on what PlayStation was back then and seeing what it is now, it's sad, bro. It really is sad. But yeah, I'm like, you guys need to, my thing is this, okay, if you guys decide to have it where all games gotta be bought digitally off of your guys' platform, change your refund policy. And it shouldn't be no 2-hour, 2-week thing. It should be a lifetime for however long you have this game. If it's one of those things where it's like you play the game all the way to the end and stuff, then yeah, then it's like the game is yours. But if it's on something where it's like, okay, you get stuck halfway in the game and the developers don't want to come out with nothing to change it or help it where I can play the game, like a game like Elden Ring, for an example. I'm not trying to play a game like that and die 1,000 times and then it's like, yeah, I'm just stuck with it. No, I want to be able to progress in that game. So if there ain't no way to progress, then that's when it's like, okay, file a refund, slip or whatever. Tell you guys that, yeah, it's like the game, they don't have no way possible, no difficulty settings for me to, progress in the game. So it's like, I'm not trying to have it where I'm just, sitting here doing the same old over and over again. I want my money back, and we should be able to get our money back. But see, that's the thing. Companies, they ain't gonna be for that. They're gonna be like, well, that's us losing out on money. Yeah, that's me losing out on my own money. So it's like, the thing is this, you guys can take my money and it's okay, but I can't get my money back. That's a problem. I'm like, the thing is this, if you're serious about video game development, you ain't gonna worry about, whatever ideas people bring to you, because it's like, if it's an idea that's gonna help you guys survive as a company, then it's like, what's the problem? So if I ask for a difficulty settings in a video game or an easier way to play the game, it's like, bruh, that shouldn't be a problem. But anyways, with that being said, yeah, let's see how this turns out. I think this is going to do more harm than good for PlayStation. But anyways, with that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.